you would not have families separated at a border. You would have some nice people buying you a beer, giving you a hug, maybe just welcoming you with a smile. And so it's cool if we take this energy and we leave like that, because this all started because when I was in first grade, I went to Catholic school. In Pasadena, California, we were immigrants. We immigrated from Halifax, Nova Scotia, Canada.
I grew up in Alhambra.
And I really did put my hand on a Bible and swear I was not a communist when I took an oath to be an American citizen. And I was so proud. So I went to Catholic school, and everybody brought turtles and snakes to show and tell. But me, I brought my guitar. I just learned how to play it. I learned how to play Sloop John B. So I brought the guitar in, and prior to that, because I had asthma and eczema and I stuttered, none of the kids would talk to me and they kind of made fun of me. But then I got up and I sang 110 Soldier and Sloop John B back to back. I went out to my normal spot on the playground where I sat alone, and all of a sudden I looked up and there were 6 girls around me. And I said, this is all I got to do. And then guys came up because the girls were there. So that was when I first got into my Pete Seeger mode of having people sing along. So I had everybody sing along. And I also knew how to play This Land Is Your Land, because I liked Woody Guthrie at an early age, so I sang that song. And I was like, this is so cool. People were like, come to our party. All of a sudden I was invited to things. So I remember I was crossing the street and a fly landed on my head. But it wasn't a fly, it was a wasp. And I slapped my hand down on it, right here on this part of my head. I went, boom, and it stung me. And they pulled an inch-long stinger out of my skull, and I was in the middle of the intersection running like I was Jerry Lewis going, hey lady! And the nuns took me into the convent, and they gave me a Benadryl because I'd had an allergic reaction. And when I woke up, my mom was standing over me, and she was so beautiful. She looked like Audrey Hepburn, and she handed me an orange-flavored sherbet push-up ice cream treat. Kissed me on the forehead, and she said, Stephen, I just want you to know one thing. I want you to know that I love you. And then she said, I'm in it for the long haul. I'm with you till the end. I'm in it for the long haul. You'll always be my friend. Years and years later, I went away to college to the University of San Diego, Toreros. I studied political science with a minor in Spanish and a minor in business. And another minor in history, so I knew I wouldn't have a job, but at least I'd know why. And I had a roommate named Todd, and Todd was a Southern California surfer, and every other word out of his mouth was dude. And one day, he would be talking to me, he'd go, dude. And that meant something serious he was about to tell me. But if I saw him at the airport and accidentally ran into him, he'd go, dude! But if you walked in on him in the bathroom and he was having a wank, he'd go, dude. If he blew off his finger in Tijuana, Mexico with an M80 firecracker, he'd go, dude! So he got out of the water after surfing one day and he goes, dude, there was a total gnarly south swell coming in down there at Windansea from Mexico, bro. There were 7-foot waves and I was totally too. But dude, and I go, dude? And he goes, dude. I said, dude, we could communicate like meerkats with just the word dude. He said, dude, I met this totally hot chick out in the water, bro. Sometimes he'd throw in a bro. He said, dude, she's coming over tonight. I'm gonna get lucky. I said, dude, no way. He said, yeah. He goes, dude, I'm gonna have to put the BOP underneath your bed. Now, BOP was an acronym for bag of porn. Because the internet didn't exist yet, and he had 3 dirty magazines in a red bag with a black zipper that he kept under his bed. And I said, please don't put the BOP underneath my bed. If you put the bag of porn under my bed, my parents might come out to visit. What if I go to the hospital if my lung collapses or something? And he goes, dude, come on, I don't want the girl to reach under the bed and see those magazines. I won't tell you the names of the magazines. Slick Slots, Prison Pussy, and Hairy Construction Workers. Sorry. So we put the bag of porn under my bed, And that night I went out to get 6-roll tacos with guacamole, and my lung collapsed. And I was rushed to the hospital in an ambulance with a spontaneous pneumothorax. And they brought me into the hospital, and the doctor was like a total Southern California surfer, and he got the x-ray. He goes, dude, this is totally gnarly, bro. You've had 13 collapsed lungs. We're gonna have to do what's called a thoracotomy. It's gonna be painful. You'll be in the hospital 2 weeks. We're gonna have to call your parents to come down. And all I'm thinking is, shit, what about the bag of porn? Like, that's the only thing I'm thinking about. Not, am I gonna live? Am I gonna be in trouble? This is how scared I was of my strict Catholic parents. So my parents come down, and they bring the priest from our parish, Father Michael Murphy, with them. So Father Michael Murphy comes in too, and Todd's in there, my roommate. But by then they've given me the medicine that makes you really drowsy before you go in for surgery. And I looked at my mom and I looked at Todd and I said, porn. My mom goes, what? And I said, B.O.P. Mama. And she cocked her head and looked at me the way a chihuahua would look at you if you put a sweater on it and took its picture at Christmas. And they wheeled me into surgery. And I was in there for probably 7 hours. And when I woke up, the nurses were all there, and I was in intensive care, and they dabbed my tongue with a cotton swab. And Father Michael Murphy was there, and I said, B.O.P., Father. And he said, do you have to pee? Do you have to pee, Stephen? Do you have to pee? And I looked at my mom and I said, bag of porn? She said, you can't have any corn. No solid foods for 5 days. Finally, it was like I became the exorcist, and I said, get the fucking bag of porn out from under my goddamn bed. Slick slots, prison pussy, hairy construction worker. Priest covered my mom's ears. My dad covered the priest's ears. Then my dad looked down at me and said, it's okay, Steve, we still love you. He said, your mom really liked prison pussy. Father Murphy liked hairy construction workers. And I gotta tell you, Slick Slots wasn't so bad. And I said, no. And then he kissed me on the forehead and he said, Stevie boy, I'm in it for the long haul. I'm with you till the end. I'm in it for the long haul. You'll always be my friend. Now as I stand here on this beautiful Sunday in 2018, in the month of July, at the High Sierra Music Festival, I must play 30 festivals a year, and this is the best of all.
Yeah!
And all I can think of is love, 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 love. And how much easier it makes things. Just smiling at a stranger. And I think about what I've loved in my life. And I gotta tell you people, when I think about what I really loved, it was my dog when I was a little kid. His name was Bojo, short for Bojangles. And I was allergic to him, and I'd have asthma attacks when he'd sleep in my bed, but I didn't care. I'd take a hit off of the asthma inhaler and some Benadryl. And my mom and dad wanted to get rid of my dog, but I said, no way. And one day I was playing baseball by myself because I didn't have any friends, so my dog would fetch the ball. I pretended it was the Giants versus the Dodgers, and it was a playoff game to get into the World Series. And I threw the ball, and it went too far. And I feel so bad about this, but Bojo ran out in the middle of the road. And there was a Cadillac coming down the road doing 50 miles an hour, and it hit that dog I love. And I picked him up in my arms, and his blood was all over me. And I ran him into the house, and I said, Mom, we gotta get Bojo to the bed. And she drove as fast as she could, and some young 16-year-old punk cut us off, and my mom honked at him, and that 16-year-old punk flipped off my mom. And my mom had a cigarette dangling out of her mouth because it was the 60s. And I said, Mom, I can't breathe in here. It's too smoky. And she said, it's too cold outside. Leave the windows out. I had Bojo on my lap, barely alive. And that young punk honked at my mom again, and I'll never forget my good Catholic mom. She flipped him off back, but she didn't know what finger to use, and she used her ring finger. She was like this, with a cigarette dangling out of her mouth with long ashes she hadn't clipped off for her, with her hand on the Dodge Aspen. That's why there should be a statue of my mom when people come in to High Sierra Festival, flipping everybody off with the wrong finger with a cigarette in her mouth. Let's get a petition. So sure enough, they brought Bojo in for surgery to the veterinarian. I said, please fix Bojo. If you fix Bojo, I promise I'll come back and play High Sierra Music Festival in 2018. But it was only 1967, and the vet goes, High Sierra Music Festival doesn't even exist yet. And I said, but it will. How do you know about it? He goes, because I'm a time traveler too. I said, you are? That's so cool. He goes, yeah, I became unstuck in time by Billy Pilgrim and the Book Slaughterhouse 5 by Kurt Vonnegut. And I said, really? I became unstuck in time when I watched this one movie, and I go like this, Marty, get my flux capacitor. I've got to get back to the future. So sure enough, the vet came out after operating on my dog, and I thought he was going to die, and he said, Steve Poltz, your dog Bojo, he's going to live. And I brought my dog home that night, and he slept at the foot of my bed, even though I had an asthma attack. And he had bandages on his neck and his legs, and I said, Bojo, I love you. And he lifted up his little weak head, my dog, and he goes, right rough road to it. And I said, you can talk. And he said, this is good weed, man. Don't forget to go play the High Sierra Music Festival. Scott Pemberton's going to come up and play the coolest lead on a song that doesn't exist yet. You don't even know what the show's going to be like, but it's going to be the greatest show you ever played. Because you're going to ask everybody in the audience to howl for any dog they ever loved in their life. Aww.